Right. Yeah. I mean, what was your earliest musical influences, and do you remember the first record you ever bought?
I remember the first record I ever bought was a song called Convoy by C.W. McCall. You do? Because no one knows that song. It's like a
the
strange,
CD one.
Yeah. Basically, it's a song about trucking and CDs. And I bought the 7-inch, and I listened to it about 50 times in a row because I'd never owned a record before. And then the second record I bought was the Live and Let Die soundtrack, Paul McCartney and Wings. And so I'd say early influences were, I mean, when I was very young, my mom's record collection, which is everything from Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young to Led Zeppelin to Django Reinhardt and obscure old jazz and classical music.
Right, so, because you was interested in punk for a while, weren't you? Or you made
Well, then,
punk record?
when I was about 10 or 11, I started playing classical music. And when I was 13, I heard The Clash for the first time. And so I sort of stopped playing classical music and started a punk rock band with some friends. So from the time I was about, I'd say 13 to 19, I was really into the American punk rock scene. And a lot of British bands as well. I mean, like, from, you know, The Damned and the Buzzcocks to things like GBH and Exploited.
Right, so quite a wide range,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And, I can't remember.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, so what kind of music do you listen to at the moment?
Well, now, thanks to the iPod, I listen, it's like this really eclectic, disparate bunch of music. Everything from John Lee Hooker and older blues like Mississippi Fred McDowell, Blind Willie Johnson, to a lot of classic rock, you know, Cream, Jefferson Airplane, more experimental electronic music. And a week doesn't go by that I don't listen to Led Zeppelin's greatest hits.
Led Zeppelin, that's never a band that's really interesting, to be honest with you.
The first 4 records are amazing, especially Houses of the Holy. It's a great record.
Yeah, so what's in the future?
Well, right now I've been on tour for about 8 or 9 months, and the tour goes until the end of January. After I leave here, I go to Australia and New Zealand, and then I get to go back to the States and figure out how to have a normal life again. Like, that's the problem with going on tour, is as much as I love touring and playing shows, you kind of give up any semblance of a normal life. And there's something to be said for waking up in the same bed every day and hanging out with your friends as opposed to living in, you know, random hotels.
Yeah, I can agree. You done an acoustic?
Yeah, last night.
Last night, didn't you? Yeah. Any thoughts of doing an album?
Yeah, because I grew up playing classical guitar and studying music theory. So last night we did our first ever all acoustic show at the Palace Theatre. It's this beautiful old Victorian theatre in Soho. And so it was myself playing guitar and piano, and then we had a great string section and 2 different vocalists, a drummer and bass player. And it was really nice because there was no big production, the sound wasn't huge, so it was very vulnerable and intimate, and I loved it. I really hope I can do more of it.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been to a few acoustic concerts, and I think the true personality comes out.
Well, this one, in this case, it definitely did, because it's just me, basically.
Thinking of recording it?
I'd like to. I mean, because I'm used to working just by myself in my own small studio, so the idea of going to a big, or like an old traditional studio and recording a very sort of traditional sounding acoustic record, almost in the spirit of like Nick Drake or even like early Dusty Springfield, I would love to do that.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Roddy Frame?
Aztec Camera.
He done a really good surf where he just played it in his living room.
Because the first 2 Aztec Camera albums, Highland, Hard Rain, and then Knife.
Yeah.
Knife is an amazing record. In fact, it really disappoints me you can't get it on iTunes in the States. Because the song Knife is one of my favorite songs ever recorded, and I guess...
Produced by Knopfler.
Yeah, Mark Knopfler, yeah.
Yeah. No, he done an album, Surf, which is basically just him and a guitar in his living room. He recorded it.
Because I saw Aztec Camera play once in like 1986, I'm guessing, 85. But Roddy Frame had a very bad flu, and he came out and played one song, and then apologized and said, I have a bad flu, and he walked off stage, so I only saw him play that one song.
I look forward to an acoustic one
Yeah,
by you,
like- yeah.
definitely.
Well, good. So I think we're actually, speaking of performing, I think I have to go perform now.
Right.